In the beginning, all was a bright light. In the center of this light was a single dog. This dog was a white male dog named Putavit. Putavit liked the light, but he felt that there was too much light and that his world wasn't balanced. So, Putavit looked for something dark. He found his black paw, and from his paw he created another dog named Basilius. Basilius was a black dog. When he was born, Basilius brought all darkness and blackness with him. Now, Putavit's world was balanced with light and darkness, so he was happy. To greet Basilius, Putavit barked, and from the energy of his bark, a warm and glowing spear was formed. Putavit called this orb the sun. To speak back, Basilius barked also, and from the energy of his bark, a rocky and unhospitable sphere was formed around the sun. Basilius called this sphere the moon. Putavit and Basilius realized that they could not live on the treacherous and rough surface of the moon. So, Basilius began to dig. After years of digging, they reached the center of the moon, where the sun was, and settled down there. After many years, Putavit and Basilius began to compete with each other and fight about many things. Finally, they decided to settle their arguments in a competition to see who could create the better being. To create his being, Putavit dug a pile of dirt from inside the moon and threw it into the sun. The sun's heat energized the dirt and created the first life form, man. To create his beings, Basilius pulled 2 hairs from his body and blew life into them, creating a woman. However, Putavit and Basilius could not decide which being, man or woman, was better, so they continued to argue. But, below them, the first man and the first woman began talking and fell in love. Inspired by this peace and love, Putavit and Basilius decided that men and women were equally good and stopped fighting. Happy with their creations, Putavit and Basilius rested and let the humans live freely. Except for one rule to never touch the sun, the humans were allowed to do what they wanted inside of the moon. After many years of using the sun's strong energy to their advantage, one human named Muta became extremely curious. Against Putavit and Basilius' one rule, Muta touched the sun. The sun was so hot that Muta burst into bright flames and experienced a high degree of pain. Because of the intense energy of the sun, the fire around Muta never burnt out. Putavit realized that men were too curious and intelligent to be trusted with the power of the sun, so he removed the sun from the center of the moon and moved it to a place far, far away. Basilius then cut a small hole in the surface of the moon so the humans could still use some of the sun's power. To set an example of Muta's disobedience, Putavit took his incessantly flaming body and split it into millions of small pieces and scattered it throughout the sky, creating the bright stars that humans can see out of the hole in the moon. With the example of Muta forever hanging over the Intralunacanis people, Putavit and Basilius felt that they could trust the humans alone and return to the bright sun for the rest of eternity.